Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions podcast with Brent Bailey. And at the tech booth, Jody Cook-Bailey and Luke Cardio. We are growing our circles of connections and knowledge together with encouraging conversations and positive communications. And now, Brent Bailey.
It's Friday! Welcome, everybody, to Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions on this Friday. It is February the 5th, and it's so good to be at the weekend.
Yes.
And it's so great to have you with us. I got a great show planned for you today. I have the writer and producer of the movie Treasure Lies. Scott Peterson is going to be joining us here in a little bit. But right now, over at the tech booth, I've got Jody and Luke.
Friday.
And guys,
Friday.
we're doing another look at another movie, and I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying these shows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
quick
it's
question.
good, yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So Friday is part of the weekend now?
Well, Friday night, don't you think it starts Friday as soon as you get off work?
Okay, yeah, you make a good point.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean,
And
I
right
thought-
now, I mean, it's for us, we are, once we pick up the kids from school, which is usually right after this,
Yep, right after
the
our show.
podcast, it's the weekend.
See,
Because
to me,
it's
like
let's
Friday
go
is
do
like
something.
the gatekeeper of the weekend.
But
you know.
I think all day Friday at work, you're just waiting to get off.
Yes.
Right.
Because as
Exactly.
soon as at 5 o'clock or whatever time you get off.
And that last hour is always the longest.
But
It
then
is.
you're free to kind of go and do whatever you want.
Right.
And you know you're going to stay out late
Yeah.
Friday
Yeah.
night. I mean,
Could stay out late,
you don't-
stay up late, whatever
kids,
you're doing.
yeah, it's like it's every time we're in the car. That's what Peyton is always saying. He's like, I
I'ma
can
stay
stay up
all
as
night.
late as I want to.
Exactly.
And
He's
so
out by 9:30.
He does sometimes.
It isn't as late as he thinks it's going to be. So
Yeah. Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to stay up all night.
Yeah.
The next day, I'm like, what time did you go to sleep? 5 o'clock. You did not.
Liar.
No, you did
You were
not.
sitting there playing Fortnite and your eyes were drooping at 11. You were so.
Yes.
You know what I hate is when you get so tired that the back of your head starts falling back. You know what I mean?
Or
It's
forward.
terrible. Now, let's talk about that because our oldest son, Preston,
Can fall asleep while you're
it's 8
talking
o'clock
to
at
him.
night, and we sit down and watch a movie,
Yeah.
and
We
he's
can be
out.
in mid-sentence answering your question.
And
You're like,
it doesn't matter.
What do you want for dinner? I
Yeah.
don't know. I think I heard like maybe taco.
So he's an 80-year-old man.
He is. He really is.
and he'll be sawing logs, man.
Yep. We're like,
His-
Preston, wake
yeah,
up.
His friend
I'm
Connor.
asleep.
His
Makes
friend
fun.
Connor has filmed him multiple times and placed it on Instagram while he's just out. So, but you know what else? It's Friday. You know what else is on Friday?
What else is on Friday?
Fridays is the new episodes of WandaVision come out. So if you
WandaVision,
haven't
yes.
started watching WandaVision yet
I haven't.
on the Disney
Oh,
Plus
it's so good. You
streaming
need to.
service, listen to me.
I'm listening.
If you are a Marvel fan at all, if you liked any of those movies, you will love WandaVision because it's so bizarre. For the first 4 episodes, it's off the wall.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on here? This is ridiculous. Because they're paying tribute to all these old sitcoms we all grew up watching. I
Right.
Love Lucy,
So
Bewitched, The Brady Bunch, Full House. I mean, they do a show on all these.
Yeah.
And you think, what does this have to do with anything? Well, it is. I'm not giving anything away. It's very much tied to the MCU, and you want to watch it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
New
so
episode
good.
tonight. Yay!
Yay.
So,
Let's talk real quick about our days, okay?
yes, what is
Okay,
today?
I want to say this one. The first one I want to start off with is it is National Weather Person's Day. So thank you to all of you weather people that go on the news or have the Weather Channel. We access the Weather Channel every day, pretty much. How hot, how cold it is. But I'm going to just say something. Can you all talk to the weather and get it to not be so unseasonably cold in Florida?
Yeah, when you wake up and it's 37 degrees in
That's
Florida,
just
it's
not
jarring.
normal.
It's
And
jarring.
so, anyway, but we appreciate all that the weather people do for the rest of the world. So, happy Weather Person's
Yes,
Day.
for all of you who've been misinforming us for years, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, the saying in a lot of states is, if you don't like the weather, just stick around for a minute. It'll change.
I'm an amateur weatherman, guys. Do you know that? I go outside every morning and I check and see if it's cold.
You're one of those guys where it's like, you know it's cold outside when you go
When-
outside and it's cold.
Yep.
Real deep.
Yep.
Real deep.
So anyway, but yeah, it's a weather person can be anything. Like we could talk about a storm chaser that reports
Ooh,
the storms.
Yes.
I've done that a couple times in Oklahoma.
You've recorded storms or chased them?
Just being dumb with some friends and like, hey, let's
Well,
try
they're-
and chase this tornado.
Thank
I don't
you.
know about you, but when I saw Twister, all those guys that were out there in the vans with Helen Hunt and Bill, whichever one that it was, Paxton, I guess, Pullman. Pullman?
I think. I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway,
I think it's Paxton.
somebody
Anyway.
Google it. Anyway, so when I saw the rest of the guys in the truck, though, I was like, I know every one of those guys in real life. Not the characters, but I know people just like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Bill Paxton.
They're putting duct tape and chewing gum to hold something.
Exactly. So anyway, with that, let's move on
Thank
to
you,
our
weather
next thing.
reporters.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Celebrate Weatherman's Day or Weather Person's Day, sorry, with Nutella, because today is World Nutella Day.
Ooh.
Nutella, however you want to say it. So yeah, y'all got
Nutella
about
is,
that.
that's one
It's
of the
good.
alternatives to peanut butter I can live with.
Hazelnut spread,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's so
person.
good.
I'm a peanut butter fiend, but I like Nutella.
Yeah.
I love
It
Nutella.
is good.
It's
We
good
don't
stuff.
we don't really buy it. Probably a good thing.
So it's just
No.
hazelnut. They don't put like chocolate in it, because I feel it's
They-
so
they probably
I
could.
think they
They
do.
probably
I
could.
think they do some chocolate
Because
in
I'm
there.
fairly certain that hazelnut is not.
that chocolatey.
Well, it's not that dark.
Right. But it's good.
Because it's so
It's good stuff.
chocolatey. You know what I mean? Like
It's
it
true.
tastes like chocolate. It's so
Yep.
good.
It's
so
true.
good.
Chocolate. So, World Nutella Day.
Well,
Go
all right.
Go celebrate and have some Nutella.
Yeah, let us know.
Nutella.
Let us know in the comments below. Do you like Nutella, and what do you like it on?
I was
do you
gonna
eat it on
say,
a
yeah.
sandwich? Do you dip the
Peanut-
crackers in it, or what do you do?
Banana, put it on bananas.
You ever seen a
or,
Nutella fountain?
like
Pictures of one. I have not seen
Like
one.
a chocolate fountain.
Yeah,
but
but
it's
it's
Nutella.
Nutella. Yeah.
Interesting.
I haven't, but that would be really good.
It is
You'd
good.
have to kind of
think-
thin that down a little bit, I would think.
A little bit.
Because if you could do it with Nutella, you could do it with peanut butter.
Ew.
A peanut butter fountain.
No, thank you.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
So yeah. Okay, so the next one is Wear Red Day. And
Well, we all failed. Oh
well,
wait,
yeah, we're not.
Luke's got a hat on.
He does have a hat on, and actually, I do have red on. You just can't see it, and it's not. It's my pajama pants
Yeah,
I
she's
have
wearing
on
pajama
because it's
pants
so
right now.
cold. I have
My
flannel
goodness.
pajama Christmas.
You know your mom's
pajamas.
watching right now. She's going, "Oh, Jode."
It's okay. It's cold. I'm allowed to do that. So
I like your socks.
yeah, they're Christmassy because and they're
I like
they're
candy
nice.
cane socks.
They are. So I do have red on. You just can't see it.
Okay, all right. We'll let you pass. What's the point of wearing red, though?
You know what? It's just a color. It's the day, and it's
I mean,
celebrate.
it doesn't tell us why or anything.
Well, we're getting ready for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. That's
I'm
So-
really
what it
digging
is.
this music that's
Yeah,
going on in the
yeah. We're
background.
kind of listening to that. So yeah. So we're red.
All right.
If
So
you have
is that our last? Is our last holiday?
It
Our
is
last
one
national day?
last one is Bubblegum Day.
Ooh, good one to
Ooh,
end
yeah,
on.
that's a good one.
All right, so there's a good question also for the comments below. What's your favorite kind of bubble gum? I personally love the little individually wrapped super bubbles,
Yeah.
or and I like the flavored ones, the grape and the apple. I like those, and I mix them, and they're delicious, and they're out of flavor in 6 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are.
but they're
They are.
delicious.
They
See,
are.
I like the green apple suckers that have the
Have it
can-
Blow
inside,
pops.
the blow
yeah.
pops.
Yeah.
right? And then like when you get to the end, the gum mixes with the flavor of the blow pop.
Yep.
The green
Excellent.
apple ones.
Yeah.
Jody doesn't like
I
gum.
don't like gum. Although I do like the smell of bubble gum, but yeah, just something.
Yeah.
No.
So, what is your favorite kind of bubblegum? Let us know in the comments below as we are going to turn our attention now to our guest.
Yes.
And let's expand your search. A few few months ago, we were privileged to have on our show the maker of the movie Small Group, Matt Chastain. And he and I started a relationship where we've actually kind of talked a few times, and he really began to kind of open us up to some of the other filmmakers and storytellers that are making movies that are very powerful in their impact, as well as quality, and then also with the message of the gospel. And one of the movies that he spoke to us about is a movie that is entitled Treasure Lies. And my son Preston and I actually got to watch that movie just the other day, and we laughed and we really enjoyed it. It was one of those movies that we didn't feel like we were being overly preached at, but at the same time, the message was there. It was very strong, and it's something that we recommend. So before we bring out our guest today, we're going to show you the trailer to that right now.
Out of your league.
I just want to ask Melissa out before she goes to college and I never see her again.
Swinging for the fences, huh?
She's so good looking. Doesn't even know it. I wonder if I'm that way. What? I mean, how would I know?
You need to enjoy your youth. You're working every time I come in here.
On my days off, I really tear it up.
How's it going? Rob's gonna be selling his Jeep soon. Can I get it?
I don't know how I feel about that.
I'll ride my bike forever. I might be able to buy the Jeep.
I already have $2,500. You might have sold it.
Let's just say Dad made a ton of money. Would you still clip coupons?
Yeah.
Imagine if you had that kind of money when you met him. How different life would be.
Can you tell me why there's a lawyer looking for you?
I'm not that kind of person.
So as you can tell, that movie seems to have all of the bells and whistles that you're looking for, as well as a solid message. I'm privileged to have with us on the program today the producer and writer of that movie, and he and his wife, Diane, have started a production company that they've been working on. They have 3 films under their belt now. It's called Two Films. And it is his wife, Diane, and I'm so privileged to have Scott on the program with us today. Please welcome to Expanding Your Search, Scott Peterson, everybody. This is Scott. Hi, Scott. How are you? It's good to have you here.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Hey.
I wanted to mention real quick, it's iiFiLMS.
It's II, not two. Okay.
Yeah, and the reason we went with II is when you print the lowercase i's, the space between the two i's forms a cross.
Interesting. Okay, I see it now. I'm actually looking at your website while I'm talking to you, and I can see that now. That's awesome.
So iiFiLMS.
All right. Well, before we get into the movie, let's talk about how did you start iiFiLMS? I know that there's a really unique story behind that.
Yeah, I kind of got all these ideas for movies in my head, and I kind of, say God is the one that put them all there, and I needed to find a way to get them out, and I found a book on how to write screenplays, and so I started writing as a hobby, and really thought that the biggest screen that'd ever be seen on is my computer screen, and so we kind of, just resigned ourselves to that. I went to Hollywood a couple times for Pitch Fest, tried to pitch them, and we tried to produce them on our own. We actually were encouraged by the Kendrick brothers that they had gone out and made a couple movies, and we thought, hey, they started out with Home Depot lights, for their lighting, and we thought, oh, we could do it. So we looked into it, and nothing fell into place. So we gave up on it. And then we were at a vision dinner that our pastor put on. And he asked the congregation, when was the last time for Christ you tried something utterly and laughably impossible? And we get out to the car, and my wife hits me on the shoulder, and she says, you know what? He was talking about your movies. And I had felt the same thing, the same nudge. And so that was in November, and by April we were casting, and July we were filming our first movie.
And the first movie was called The Current, correct?
The Current.
All right.
Yep.
Give us a snapshot of what was The Current about. And
The Current is it's a kid who's living in Chicago and loves living there, but he's in a convenience store that gets robbed at gunpoint, and his parents are like, you know what? Nope, we don't want to live near such violence. So they pack up the family and they buy a campground in Minnesota. And when they do, the kid's miserable. He hates his life until he meets the kid across the river, and that kid shares his faith with him. And it's about how that encounter shapes his future.
all right. So now all of your movies are available on your website where they can get video on demand. It's iiFiLMS.com. And now your wife, Diane, is also involved in the production company. Is she involved in the day-to-day of it, in the making of the movies as well, or how does that work, working with your wife?
Yeah, yes and no. We during the most of the year, she actually is very helpful as far as the legal stuff and helping me keep organized and stuff like that. But for the most of the time, she isn't. But then when it comes to the production, so the production post and pre and all that, it just ends up being just a lot of work. But she's very helpful in all of that.
I think we just saw her sneak out of the kitchen there. So,
No,
hi, Diane.
No, I'm actually down in Arizona at my dad's house. So that was my stepmom.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into the movie because this movie looks, it is, I guess, would be considered a rom-com, but it's set in kind of the latter part of the teenage years. So I kind of got the John Hughes high school vibes from it when I started to see the trailer. It's a really good romantic comedy, though.
Yeah. And the thing I like about it is that he actually he says that he feels that girl is out of his league, and some people think that a lot of people think of the phrase "out of your league" as like, she's too good looking, should never be interested in me kind of thing. But what he's actually really thinking in his head is that, class wise, she's super rich and I'm not, and so he's like doing this poor pitiful me kind of thing.
Yeah. And it seemed to me, and I don't want to give anything away, but as she was kind of more pursuing him, where he kind of felt like this isn't really happening.
Yeah. She had some interest in him because he was a man of faith. He went to the same church as her, and so because of that, she was interested in him.
All right. Okay, so I noticed that a lot of this movie does take place in and around church. But you don't really feel like that is really that somebody's just preaching at you the whole time. Is there a way that we can make more movies like that, where the normal everyday faith story is kind of interwoven through that? Is that kind of what you're trying to do?
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of messages in Hollywood that come across, and they come across just by repetition. For example, where have most of the people out there got the notion that it's okay to live together before marriage? Well, because they saw it on TV, and or sleep together before marriage, saw it on TV, and it's just now it's ingrained. And so what we're doing is we're just doing good, positive, family-friendly messages, but yet also have a Christian message in there. And hopefully if people see enough of that, it gets ingrained in them, basically.
All right. Now, when it comes to making a movie like this, I know our viewers out there would never in a million years probably even dream of trying to take on something like that. Can you give us a little bit of a snapshot of what it was like maybe when you were starting your first one, and what is it like now making films?
Well, the first day we got the dailies back, we were watching them, and I was just like this is so cool. We're making a movie. Yeah, I had no idea. I actually thought it would be less quality than what we ended up with. It was just because I had no idea what to expect from the crew. They're all pretty much everybody was just right out of the University of Minnesota film school kind of thing. And they're all newbies and just did an amazing job. We had a really good cast, really good crew. And then now on the new one, it's like, it feels like we're real Hollywood. I mean, we had a 1-ton grip truck, whereas before it was out of a trailer pulled behind a SUV, kind of thing. And it was just probably $750 worth of lights, and the grip truck that's probably what we paid a day, for the grip truck. But it was quite a bit different from the first one to the third one.
So you're setting these messages into a medium that everybody really loves. Everybody watches movies. Do you feel like what you're doing is a little bit different than maybe the Christian movies of the past, where I like the way Matt said it. Matt said almost like people take a sermon and then wrap a film around it. But now we're starting to see actual story development that just happens to have a message in it. Is that something that's difficult to really get going?
No, not really, because there's so many. Everybody's got a faith story. I mean, how they came to faith. I mean, and if you take a snapshot of that, I mean, a lot of them would make a good movie. I mean, how one day they're like horrible sinner, and then the next day something bam hits them in the face. I just got goosebumps thinking about that. I mean, it's just there's so many moments that change people's lives, and they don't even realize it. And then that moment changes so many people's lives after that. So
now I know that you've also I'm sorry, say that again. I cut you off.
I think a lot of them would make good stories. Yeah.
And I'm just enthralled with your story as we're talking about it. Just really taking a dream of making a movie and watching God work through that is really something. I know this is kind of also developed into a nonprofit organization that you have going on, and I know you wanted to talk about that a little bit today. Tell us a little bit about that.
In the past, when I got up to speak at different events, I would introduce myself. My name is Scott Peterson. I run a nonprofit Christian production company, but not on purpose. Now we're doing it on purpose. My wife and I, with a lot of donations, and then most of it was funded by us. And then in the last movie, we borrowed $60,000, which we've since paid back. But the rest we've funded, and we can't do that anymore. So we formed a nonprofit, and we hope to put out similar good quality movies as we have in the past. But now we have a board formed, and they'll help us with decisions and things like that.
That's awesome. And the next one you're working on is called?
I'm not telling. Untitled Project.
Untitled Project. All right.
Yeah, I'm not saying yet because it might change. There's a few. Depending on who we cast, how many people we cast.
All right. Scott, I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward. I'm going to have to go and check out the current now so that I can make sure I kind of follow all of them. We wish you nothing but the best. Man, you're doing a great job. Like I said, even my 14-year-old son, he laughed, especially at the wrestling scene. He was on the floor at that point. Great job. Anything we can do in the future to help promote your upcoming films, we want to be all about it. We're going to put some information up on the screen. You can actually go to iiFiLMS.com, and you can actually see or actually download or get a video on demand, rental, or buy of all of Scott's movies right there. You can also go on Facebook and Instagram to @TreasureLiesMovie, and then on YouTube, he also has a YouTube channel, iiFiLMS. It is, they're both outstanding. Scott, we couldn't thank you enough for your time today.
Thank you so much. All right, take care.
All right, have a great day.
You too. Bye.
All right, that's Scott Peterson of iiFiLMS, and now let's stop for directions. As I was listening to Scott talk about building the impossible and realizing his dream, and then seeing the kind of work that he is producing, I was reminded of something my grandfather actually taught me when we were growing up. My grandfather and my dad and many of his brothers, my uncles, they were builders, and they went around and they built many little homes in our hometown, and a lot of commercial buildings and things like that. And many folks, have said that my grandfather was responsible along with his brother, for building most of the little town that I grew up in. And I remember everything that they would do. My grandfather would say, do everything that you can to make it as good as you can, and then depend on the good Lord to do the rest. And I remember those words as I was listening to Scott talk about realizing his dream of making a movie now that has really made a great impact for the gospel. And I was reminded of what Paul wrote in Colossians chapter 3, verse number 17. He says, whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. If you're going to go out and do something, don't go out with small dreams and small goals and a small target. Go out and aim for the highest peaks and the biggest impact that you can make, and do it all in Jesus' name, because you as a believer aren't called to live a small, meaningless blip on the radar life. You've been called to make a strong, great, powerful impact, an impact that will get people's attention. It'll cause them to see things that they need to see in their life. It'll cause them to question things that they need to question. It'll cause them to change paths and start going in a direction that they need to go. That all happens when you grasp who you are, and what you're supposed to be doing, and you aim as high as you can. You too can make an impact, just like Scott Peterson and the film that we talked about today called Treasure Lies. It's a great movie. It's worth checking it out. That's going to wrap it up for the program today. I'm so grateful to Jody and to Luke for another great broadcast. My thanks again to Scott Peterson of iiFiLMS. I'm telling you, folks, it's worth your time to check it out. It's on Amazon Prime right now, or you can go to iiFiLMS and do their video on demand feature. It's called Treasure Lies. Check it out and have a great weekend doing it. All right. Come back and be with us. It's going to be another great show next time. I hope you found what you were looking for as you took the time today to expand your search and stop for directions. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @ExpandingYourSearch on Facebook and Instagram, and @ExpandingSearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We're available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search and stop for directions.